Hello, this is Rebecca Hanson, abundanceastrologer.com. I attended a human design conference in Colorado Springs a bit back and was approached by a lot of human design specialists wanting to know where they begin with astrology and how it syncs up with human design. So I thought I'd put together a hopefully brief slideshow to give you some basics. A little history on me. I've been an astrologer since the early 70s, and I've been studying numerology for almost 5 years now. So let's dive in. The human design body graph is composed of geometric shapes that are centers. The numbers inside those centers are gates, and the white lines that connect the centers are called channels. If you look at the whirling circle, or inside of it, you have corresponding numbers that line up with the gates, and the outside of that circle are the I Ching hexagrams. And on the very outside of the mandala, you have the astrology signs of the zodiac. In human design, there are 64 gates and I Ching hexagrams, and there are 6 hexagram lines inside each gate. With astrology, there are 12 zodiac signs, and each sign has 30 degrees. Now, I am a Western astrologer, which is totally different from the Eastern. So please know that Ra did use the Western astrology. When people in the human design community first start chatting with each other, the primary subject to start with is usually what are your profile lines, and what is your incarnation cross. For astrologers, that conversation is usually about the sun, the moon, and the ascendant. And I will say that not all human design programs include the astrological ascendant, and it's not usually discussed or displayed, but from my point of view, I feel like it really does play a big part, and I will usually check to see where that sits in the human design body graph. So this is what we're going to cover here. We're going to see how the body graph and the mandala associate with the astrology wheel. We're going to look at the ascendant and where it shows up in human design. We're going to check out the planet's movement through the gates and the signs, and look at also the transit of the lunar nodes. So the ascendant in astrology is the position of the eastern horizon at a given moment of an event or a birth. And because of the Earth's rotation, this position changes about every 2 hours. So it is important to have the correct time. The ascendant indicates the first impression that people receive of you, or sets the stage for an event. The astrological zodiac and gates move counterclockwise on the wheel. And it's important to notice that this is because of the Earth's rotation. In human design, when you're looking at the mandala, Aries and the gate 25 will be on the left, and the ascendant may be written in somewhere else on the body graph or on the mandala. So for instance, if your ascendant is 24 degrees Taurus, it would be located in human design gate 23 and in the throat center. So with gate 25 located on the left, you will see that Aries is a couple of lines down from the beginning of gate 25. In other words, 0 degrees Aries is not right at the beginning of gate 25. So when I first started studying human design, I wanted to know the correlation between the various centers and how they showed up in astrology signs. What I was looking at, well, this is one of them. I did one of these spreadsheets for every center. You will see that the emotional solar plexus contains a lot of gates that are in Pisces. And Pisces is a very emotional sign. It is very intuitive. And in human design, one of the things that you want to pay attention to, especially when you're counseling your clients, is that they want to pay attention to their emotional wave. So this was really, really helpful for me. You will notice that gate 25 does straddle Pisces and Aries. And this is how it shows up on most mandalas. So, not to confuse you or anything, but this is one of my charts when I do a workup. Now, I will say this is clean compared to most of the notes that I put on charts. But one of the things I want you to pay attention to is that this particular chart I lined up with the human design mandala. So it starts at 0 degrees Aries. And for this particular chart, I used whole sign houses. So you'll see every zodiac sign, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so forth, all start at 0 degrees. That is not how I would be looking at it if I were to bring in the ascendant. I would want to know where each house starts. And I do use Placidus for those of you who are interested. This particular chart was run for when the Olympic gymnastics team had their Senate hearing. So I wasn't really concerned about time. I wanted to know what the planetary placements were. And I also used trans-Neptunian objects, dwarf planets, and asteroids just to see if they aligned up with something that was pertinent on the chart. So if you're interested in reading the article that I wrote with this, it appeared on my Facebook page middle of September. So go check that out if you're interested. That will take you down a rabbit hole, I promise. The chart on the left is for the transits of September the 24th at 12:30 in the afternoon. And so you will notice that the ascendant is 8 degrees 40 minutes of Sagittarius. That corresponds with gate 9, line 3. One important thing when you are looking at ascendants is that an astrology chart is not like a map of a state. If you are looking at a road map, the left-hand side is usually west and the north is at the top. With astrology, you'll see that the ascendant is on the east, but it is on the left. So if you were to put on protective eyewear, go outside and look at the sun, your back would be facing north and your front would be facing south. So that would put your left-hand side at the east. This kind of confuses a lot of people. I hope you get it. It's counterintuitive because we are so ingrained with road maps being the top is north. In this case, it's not. And of course, the ascendant here being at 8 degrees aligns up with the human design gate 9, as you can see in that circle. And you can also find that what is coming up at the horizon at the moment of this chart is the south node. It has risen just above the horizon at the ascendant. So we're going to look at the moon's movements. And this would be a good place to bring this in, I think. One of the things I have noticed ever since I started associating with the human design community and learning the modality is that a lot of human design people, when they're reading a piece of paper, they will say, gate 3 is in the sun or gate 6 is in the sun, which is incorrect. And I will say that from an astrologer's ears, doesn't give you a whole lot of credibility to be saying it backwards like that. I would challenge and invite everyone to try to change that habit and say that the sun is in gate 6, because planets always transit through the gates and the signs. You would say, my sun is in Leo. You would not say, my Leo is in the sun. Anyway, let's get out of that rabbit hole. We're going to look at the moon's transits, and the moon moves through a sign in about 2.5 days. It takes around 28 days or so to go around the whole zodiac. And because it moves so fast, it's easier for us to get a feel for how the rest of the planets move as well. For this particular session, we're going to look at it going through Aries into Taurus. And we will start September the 20th, when the moon was at 0 degrees. This is 2021 now, all of these charts are. And this is at 10:30 at night. We're going to be looking at the transit through the gates 25 clear through into Taurus in gate 3, as you see on the right-hand chart. Let's get started. I will from time to time be telling you to keep your eye on the moon, because you're going to see in the left-hand chart here, it is at 0 degrees Aries. You're going to be watching it advance through to Taurus as these slides progress. So currently for this particular chart, it is at 0 degrees Aries, gate 25, line 4. Keep your eye on that moon. And it's moved to 3 degrees, and now it's in gate 17. This is at 4:30 in the morning. And you can see where it's landed on the human design body chart, body graph, or Buddha graph, like they were saying at the conference. Keep your eye on that moon again. It's gone up to 9 degrees. It's now in gate 21 at 3:30 in the afternoon on the 21st. You can see it has gone through 2 gates already, actually 25 to 17 to 21. And we're going to move on to Wednesday at 2:30 in the morning. It's going to be in gate 51, line 1. Now it's at 15 degrees Aries. And it's Wednesday at 2:30 in the morning. Then it advances to 20 degrees Aries. And that is in line 6. The next slide is going to move past, because it's in gates, it's in line 6 currently. It's going to move through gate 42 and on to gate 3. 26 degrees Aries. It is now in gate 3. Keep your eye on the moon. It's going to move into Taurus. It's now 0 degrees Taurus. And it's in gate 3, line 4. And it has gone through all of the gates and the whole sign of Aries. So in review, we went from September 20th to September the 23rd and went through the whole sign of Aries and gates 25 through 3. So the planets always move counterclockwise through the signs. The lunar nodes, which is what we're going to track next, move clockwise, except for retrogrades. I am going to use the sun for this particular demonstration just because we will be able to watch it for a whole year, and it will go through each sign, and you will see in comparison how far the lunar nodes move during that time. So the next 12 slides are going to be once a month for a year, and the sun will move counterclockwise in a new month per sign. Now, not all, it's important to know that I'm using this as an example. The other planets move differently, as you saw in a previous slide. I didn't stay on that slide very long, but you know, Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the whole zodiac. So anyway, that's just kind of a footnote for you. The nodes take 18 and a half years to completely circle. So in other words, at about 9.25 years, the north node will be sitting on the original south node position. And they move clockwise, and the north node during this whole year will only move from 3 degrees Gemini to 14 degrees Taurus. So what I suggest is you watch, you focus on the north node with the red arrow there down at the bottom of the chart, and use your peripheral vision to kind of watch the sun. And you will see that the north node will move very slowly in comparison to the sun. This is October. We started out in September. And if you watch the node at the bottom, it's at 1 degree. I'm moving it up. It's now into December. And because the node is moving backwards, you're going to soon see it cross over into Taurus like it just did. That is January. And I will say that a lot of astrologers are keeping their eye on this energetically because of the changes between the north node being in Gemini, dealing with communication. It will be moving into Taurus. It will be a more grounded energy, along with people checking in more with their value systems. And Taurus also rules money. So moving forward to February, March, April, May, July, August, and back to September, its original position. So I'm going to just let this play out a second at a time, and you'll see a more smoother effect of it. And there you go. We've looked at the mandala and body graph in relationship to the astrology wheel, the ascendant and how it shows up in human design, the transits of the planets through the gates and signs, and the movement of the lunar nodes. I hope this has given you a good start in connecting the links between human design and astrology.